Recently, we've had a lot of calls from boards who are having trouble enforcing the terms of their alteration agreements. It turns out that they would take the form of alteration agreement that was furnished by the managing agent, fill in the names and addresses, and nothing else. In one condominium, the alteration agreement that was used was actually the agreement for a cooperative. It didn't fill in the outside date by which the alteration had to be done, the amount of the security deposit, what the amount of any fines for failure to complete were. When the alteration went bad, the condominium was left in no shape to enforce the agreement. In another building, the board made handshake arrangements to change the alteration agreement, change the work that was being performed without actually modifying the alteration agreement. So what happened was that when the alteration went off the rails, the unit owner was able to say, you agreed that I could make these changes, and the board had a difficult time refuting their claim. The devil is in the details in alteration agreements. You have to make sure that it's tailored to the work that is actually being done. You need someone to look at the agreement and make sure all the blanks are filled in, and that the work that is supposedly reflected in the agreement is the work that is going to be done. And more importantly, you should have someone inspecting the progress of the alteration, whether it's the managing agent, the superintendent, even a sophisticated board member, during the progress of the alteration, to make sure that the unit owner isn't doing work that was not authorized under the agreement.
We highly suggest that all our boards and other people's boards seek the advice of their attorneys, have their attorneys review their form agreements, have them make sure that they are current and up to date with all of the changes in the law, with the changes in the regulations, that they fit within the framework of what you as a board, you as a community, you as a building want within your building. Not doing so is to your own detriment. In the end, it will damage your building, and your ability to enforce its terms. The biggest problem that we've come across has always been the failure to fill in the blanks. We find management companies come in with their forms that they've inherited, that they like, that they use. The boards, most of the time, don't even see those forms until there's a problem. They routinely have shareholders who want to do alterations fill in the blanks and don't check to see if it was done completely. That danger in and of itself makes the agreement useless. If the agreement doesn't contain the material terms that it's meant to contain, which is why the blanks are there, then there's nothing to enforce. Your forms, if you insist on using forms, have to be up to date. And it should be done periodically, every 2 or 3 years, or when there has been a major change in the law. Very often attorneys will write to their clients and advise them. You'll see articles in the paper, ads, sometimes it would be in one of your local magazines. Very often your management company might tell you about it. That in and of itself should be a cue. It's time to take a look at our forms.